The Nightbeat starts right now.
So we're going to start with this, a live look at radar tonight. If you can see right there, we have a bit of a cold front moving in, but does that wind shift mean a change in temperatures? Well, we're going to check in with meteorologist Adam Caskey coming up.
A tense situation on a San Antonio street corner. A group attempting to turn over a police cruiser. Tires slashed. People pepper sprayed, some taken into custody. The anger and the anguish after San Antonio police shoot and kill a man wanted on felony warrants. All sides of this story coming up.
And with costs already up, there is help for parents who need childcare, but the deadline to apply just days away. We're going to look at how you can get free childcare in just a moment. But first, tonight, the big story here, a crowd confronting police after learning that several officers shot and killed a man. Yeah, some in that crowd were family members of the man killed. It happened just blocks from Woodlawn Lake near Hamilton and Culebra. We have new video tonight where that shooting took place. Officers say a man ran and pulled a gun on them at this embankment. That's when Police Chief William McManus says 3 of his officers opened fire. Now, family identify the man who was killed as Kevin Johnson. Police say that he was wanted on 2 felony warrants. One of those warrants was for assaulting an officer, and the other was for being a felon in possession of a firearm. The night team's Lee Waldman was there as crowds confronted police.
Moments after Police Chief William McManus spoke about an officer-involved shooting on the west side.
At some point, he pulled a gun from his waistband. At what point the officer shot, I don't know, because again, I haven't seen the body cam.
Tensions reached a boiling point between Kevin Johnson's family, the community, and police. Kevin's sister Jasmine also pepper sprayed. She tells us her brother had a criminal history but had turned his life around and had struggled with mental illness.
He's not a bad person, so there's no reason why this should have happened. I mean, nobody deserves to get shot in the back 9 times, for Christ's sakes.
Y'all gonna spray her? That's how y'all show sympathy to the can't.
The tire of an SAPD unit deflated. Several people appearing to be taken into custody and placed into a van. Kevin's father collapsing in the street, crying for his son.
They know they shot my son from behind, and that's wrong. They shot him 9 times, and nobody here has nothing to say to me. Nobody has nothing to say.
As officers tried to leave, their windows punched. Their way was blocked.
That's how they protect and serve us. They left.
As things cooled, a grieving family was left crying for their son, brother, and friend they lost.
Tonight, we know the 3 officers involved in this shooting are placed on administrative leave. That's protocol after a situation like this one. They'll remain on leave as this investigation continues and as the district attorney reviews that body camera video. Per SAPD's policy, the audio and video will be released 60 days after a critical incident like this one. Reporting live, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you for that. Now to a Defenders update. A local nonprofit exposed for wide-scale misspending is now shutting down one of its locations in San Antonio. So the Defenders showed you how a group meant to help pregnant women and young parents spent tens of thousands of dollars on out-of-state trips, vehicles, and even bought land to produce industrial hemp. A little more than 2 months later, officials with A New Life for a New Generation told its clients that its east side location at 314 North Hackberry was shutting down. A majority of New Life's funding actually came through reimbursements from the state, but that stopped late December. New Life's west side headquarters off of Commerce is still open.
And right now, investigators trying to figure out who killed a 15-year-old that may have been the victim of a drug deal gone bad. It happened overnight on the far west side of the county on Fossil Banks Road. That's near Loop 1604 and Shanefield Road. Bexar County deputies say there was an apparent drug deal before the teen was shot and killed. They're now asking anyone with surveillance video or any information at all to come forward. You can remain anonymous. Just call 210-335-6000. New tonight, he dodged for his life. A Universal City police officer says he's lucky he wasn't hit when a driver barreled right into his patrol unit earlier this month. Police say the driver behind the wheel may have been drinking, and they worry soon they could be a rise in DWIs. The traffic authority's Stephen Cavazos speaks with one lucky officer.
As I see it coming, I have to go and I start running out of the way to get out of the way of the situation.
Universal City Police Officer Devontae Smith says it was only a matter of seconds before his life was on the line.
And then I see this car coming and it's moving pretty fast. I can tell it's moving pretty fast. And there's a moment where I'm thinking, is he going to stop?
This dash cam video captured the heart-pounding moments. The officer dodged the car. Smith was on the scene of another crash when a driver slammed into his patrol unit. This is what was left behind.
Shock set in, but then also action so that I could save my life. And then, also the driver, once the accident was over, to make sure that he was safe too.
The driver was arrested and charged with a DWI. Last year, UCPD says there was a total of 52 DWI arrests, and 21 of those involved a crash.
These types of calls are the chief's worst nightmare.
UCPD Police Chief Johnny Siemens worries because it happens too often. He encourages drivers to plan ahead and reminds them there are options.
We 100% control the outcomes in these if we start with the end in mind.
These officers suggest using a ride-sharing service or having a designated driver. And with Fiesta fast approaching, they believe planning ahead is life-saving.
I'm all for a good time, but there's no reason to risk anyone's life for that.
Stephen Cavazos, KSAT 12 News.
Switching gears now to the war in Ukraine, Russian forces continue to bombard the capital of Kyiv. One of its missiles actually hit a city street and it killed one person, wounded 6 others. The attacks on Kyiv follow a massive missile strike on a Ukrainian base just 10 miles from the Polish border over the weekend. A U.S. official confirmed that the Kremlin spoke with China in hopes of getting military equipment from that country. Now, China is reported to be considering that request, but Beijing is denying that. The death toll in all of this, of course, continues to rise. According to the UN, at least 636 people have been killed and more than 1,100 have been injured. So we have seen those gas prices creep up. So could that affect travel plans for spring break, right? Many of us have been asking that. Turns out some families actually opted on a staycation instead of taking a flight to a beach. A lot of those families were at Brackenridge Park earlier today. So others chose to visit some of the amusement parks nearby, like Fiesta Texas and SeaWorld. Local families, though, weren't the only ones who decided to stay nearby. We spoke with one family from Houston that drove here just for the day.
For her SeaWorld, and my parents want to walk around on the river walk. It's very relaxing.
Yeah, they know it's good.
Yeah.
Another family from Orlando said that they came to San Antonio after learning that it was actually cheaper to fly here than it was to go to other destinations like Las Vegas or New York. Obviously, they made the better choice.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, now for a look at some of the other big headlines tonight. More than a dozen agencies called in to help fight a grass fire just before 5 today. Sky 12 flew over the scene as flames spread near Talley Road and Cartwright Trail. That's on the far west side outside of Loop 1604. About 30 acres involved. Crews managed to get the flames 90% contained about 7 o'clock tonight. No homes destroyed. The cause remains under investigation. There's a wanted magician on the run in Seguin. Police say he used sleight of hand to steal $2,700 in cash from a Walmart. Police say it happened on 2 occasions in January and February. This is the man they're looking for in Seguin. They say on both occasions the suspect distracted the employee after he was handed his change, then claimed he was given the wrong amount and pocketed the extra cash. If you recognize this person, call 830-379-2123. More jobs coming to San Antonio. HEB tripling the size of its support center on the northeast side of town. There are 500 people who currently work at the warehouse. That's going to change.
We're in the process right now of starting this facility up and adding volume to it, and we'll be hiring over 200 employees or partners over the next 3 to 4 months.
The refrigerated warehouse helps get products to stores across the state. The company also looking to add another 100 people to its manufacturing business. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Right now, we're sitting around 70 degrees outside, but a weak cold front is moving through. That's going to lead to some cool mornings, but warm and relatively comfortable afternoons. A few storms out there this evening. That's our big headline right now. Here's the latest look at our Doppler radar. And I do want to point out those counties shaded in the yellow color. That is Gonzales, Lavaca County, DeWitt County, includes the city of Gonzales, Cuero, Yorktown, Hallettsville, Shiner. You're under a severe thunderstorm watch until 2 a.m. We're going to talk more about this and the rest of the week coming up.
All right, Adam, thank you. Still ahead on the Night Beat, the American dream is now more of a possibility for thousands of Texas families. We're going to tell you how a local university is making college more affordable.
Plus, the deadline coming up if you're hoping to get free childcare. We want you to know about this. We're going to take a look at the program meant to help parents and their pocketbooks. Next on the Night Beat. As prices increase, people may be looking for a way to help their budget. Well, hear about this. It's a program that offers free childcare, but the time to apply is running out. We've told you about the program back in October. Well, tonight, only 2,000 slots have been filled. That means 2,500 slots are still open. It's called the Service Industry Recovery Program, but you need to apply by this Wednesday. The program meant for people who work in the service or arts industry. Texas Workforce Commission offers 1 year of free child care.
We would also encourage employers that if they are, getting people that are coming to their particular employment areas, for them to contact us so that we potentially could, help get sort of those reverse referrals, because it's kind of a combination of things, right? So we can do our part, employers can do their part, and of course, residents can do their part.
Workforce Solutions Alamo, our local division for the state's Workforce Commission, they say the winter COVID-19 spike impacted recruitment for the program. Now, if you would like to apply, like we said, the deadline is Wednesday. We have a link right now on KSAT.com.
Tonight, a huge boost, another boost for Texas families. For many of you, sending your kid to college is the ultimate goal, right? Well, now UTSA is making that a lot easier. It's expanding a program to make college tuition free for thousands of students.
Not only has it given me the ability to really kickstart my higher education, but it's also opened the door to new opportunities.
Gabby Palacios has big plans. The college freshman and Pleasanton native is part of UTSA's Bold Promise program, which means her tuition is free. That's a big deal. She's the first person in her family to attend college, and she admits without Bold Promise, college would have been out of reach.
So not only did I not have the means and the funding to, but I also didn't know very much about the application process.
That's exactly what the University of Texas system wants to change. It wants to help more Texas families achieve the American dream by making college affordable. In 2019, it started the Bold Promise program, which made tuition free for thousands of students. It's for students who graduate in the top 25% of their class and whose families make less than $70K a year. This new program is an extension of that. It's called Promise Plus. UTSA received more money to cut tuition costs for more students.
$3 million's a lot, this year's investment at UTSA, but we will grow that over time so that we can address a growing population in Texas.
Gabby says the Promise program has changed her life. She hopes more students take advantage of it.
It's really a way to break through the barrier that had previously been set for us before.
Yeah, let's talk about Gabby because she's awesome. She's going places. She has a 4.0 GPA and her goal is to become a teacher. We know she's going to go very far. By the way, if you're interested in Promise Plus, we have more information on our website, KSAT.com.
Go Gabby.
Yeah.
Also a great spokesperson for what that program can do.
Right? Yeah.
All right, live look outside right now, 70 degrees. It was a beautiful Monday. I mean, we started off, I'm like, oh, another one of those cold days, but man, did it heat up quick.
It's that time of year, even if we have a cool morning, boy, in the afternoon with sunshine, it can warm up pretty quickly. And if you were looking east earlier this evening, this may have been your sight, or at least a similar sight to what I have here. Take a look at our KSAT Connect, and this is a photo submitted by a viewer from SeaWorld area looking off to the east, and that's where we had the thunderstorms bubbling up earlier this afternoon. Here's a look at the radar over the past 4 hours or so, and you can see those showers and thunderstorms flaring up. Very low topped. They only reached about 30,000 feet, which for thunderstorms is not all that impressive. But hey, it brought some much needed rainfall to a few parts of our area east of San Antonio. And what we have out there right now is this line that's trying to develop from LaGrange down toward Luling. A little bit of lightning, so it's starting to strengthen. You see how the lightning just starts to pop up here over the past 30 minutes or so. And there are some indications that this line will expand southward as it continues to move east toward Hallettsville, Gonzales, Cuero, and locations far east of San Antonio. That's why we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect for Gonzales County, DeWitt County, Lavaca County. That's until 2 a.m. I think the primary threat will be before 2 a.m. Nonetheless, if this gains some steam and has a little more development on the back edge of that line, then yeah, a little bit of it could become strong to severe with maybe some straight line gusty winds being the primary threat. So we'll keep an eye on that for you tonight. Here's the big picture. This is all part of a bigger system, a large scale system that's off to the north of us. We're right on the tail end of it. I know you often hear us saying that, but it's one of those situations, again, we're right on the tail end. The primary activity has been basically from Waco eastward toward Houston, Lufkin, even now moving into the Shreveport area. That's where we've had numerous severe thunderstorm warnings and even one tornado warning, not a confirmed tornado, just a Doppler radar indicated in parts of East Texas earlier today. This is part of a cold front that's headed toward our area. Cold front that's not going to bring really much colder conditions. We'll just trim off a few degrees from what we had today. So let's talk temperatures. 46 this morning, 82 for the high temperature this afternoon. So below average in the morning, above average in the afternoon. That's going to be a common theme. Right now we're sitting pretty at 70, a dew point of 32. No rainfall anywhere within our area. We're not expecting any in and around San Antonio or Bexar County. Currently 66 Rio Medina, Bulverde 65, Canyon Lake 64. Converse 68, but Stinson's still at 77. That's one of the exceptions. Cotulla 71. Here's what we're expecting tomorrow morning. For the most part, upper 50s, right, or upper 40s, right near 50 degrees to start the day. So a bit of a brief chill in the air tomorrow morning. But by the afternoon, we're back up close to 80 degrees. I mean, we're talking 83 Del Rio and Uvalde, Gonzales 77. Timberwood Park 77 and Elmendorf 80 degrees tomorrow. So yeah, maybe long sleeves briefly in the morning, but by the noon hour already sunny and 70 and then near 80 later on in the day. But you will notice the wind. It's going to be a bit breezy. That weak cold front that's moving through tonight, that'll kick up the wind tomorrow out of the north at 15 to 20 with some gusts around 30 to 35. The rest of the week, we actually warm up through Thursday, St. Patrick's Day, mid-80s, a little bit of morning fog, otherwise still sunny. And then, unfortunately, no chance of rain until we get to this time next week, when right now it's only at 20%. But look at those mornings, 40s to near 50, and then afternoons, 70s and 80s.
You know, I suggested Thursday looks like it's a good time for your favorite green beverage.
Cucumber juice?
For St. Patrick's Day. Somebody said cucumber. Somebody said cucumber juice.
Exactly.
Not exactly. No. No.
So you see, so the weather's obviously looking up. One thing that's not looking up is the Spurs. More than ever now, they need to get those W's, and it's not happening.
It wasn't going to come tonight. Carl Anthony Towns, they had no answer for. He said a new career high was 60 points. It looked like an old ABA game, you know, back just nothing but offense, no defense. When we come back, Spurs are thrown to the Wolves and show you how it happened. And Tank has a new contract with the Dallas Cowboys coming up. DeJounte Murray, Keldon Johnson, Jakob Poeltl all back tonight for the Spurs, who continue their homestand against the surging Minnesota Timberwolves. Both offenses came to play. First quarter, Johnson steps into a three, drains it to tie the game at 22. But the Wolves find some separation late in the frame. Carl Anthony Towns muscles his way through contact, gets a default, counted and one. Minnesota leads 40-32 after one. Second quarter, Spurs turning the defense to offense here. Zach Collins records the first of three straight blocks to start the break. Josh Richardson finds Murray for the lay-in to cut that lead lead down to 3. Then a little later, Trey Jones finds Devin Vassell for the two-handed jam. San Antonio right back in it, but they trail 75-73 at the half. Third quarter, Spurs still keeping pace. Keldon Johnson knocks down another 3. He finished with a career-high 34 points. We're tied at 84. Then Lonnie Walker, the fourth, nails a triple to pull San Antonio within 4. He had 22 off the bench, but Karl Anthony Towns was just too good tonight. The Minnesota big man scored 56 points through 3 quarters of play. He finished with 60, breaking his own franchise record and career high. The Spurs fall 149-139.
Karl was fantastic. He drove it. He shot it. He always plays hard. He's a hell of a player. It's not like it was a surprise, but tonight he was special. So give him credit.
Next up, another home game against Oklahoma City, Wednesday at 7:30.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys decided to re-sign defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence to a 3-year, $40 million contract. At that $40 million, $30 million is guaranteed. That means Lawrence will become the first defensive end in NFL history to have his contract guaranteed for 7 straight seasons, even though injuries limited him in the 2021 season. They're signing a 5-year deal with $105 million after 2018. Lawrence was scheduled to count $27 million against the cap if they had not re-signed him to this 3-year deal. Now just $14 million. Tank has tallied 48.5 sacks in his 8 NFL seasons. After the Cowboys traded Amari Cooper to the Cleveland Browns and re-signed Michael Gallup to a 5-year, $62.5 million deal, it was clear that Cedric Wilson was going to make more money somewhere else. It turns out it will be in Miami, where the Dolphins will pay him almost $23 million, with almost $13 million guaranteed in a 3-year deal. That's after coming off a career year with 602 yards and 6 touchdowns. Meantime, Deshaun Watson will start meeting with teams interested in trading for him now that the Texans quarterback will not be criminally charged. He still faces 22 civil lawsuits from women who claimed he sexually assaulted them during massage, but a grand jury declined to indict him. According to ESPN, the first 2 teams will be the Carolina Panthers and New Orleans Saints. Have already offered deals to the Texans for Watson, and the Texans have turned down the Indianapolis Colts about talking with Watson since they are in the same division. How would you like to be the guy who bid over $500,000 for Tom Brady's football of his last touchdown pass as a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, only to find out on the same day he's coming back this year? Brady announcing on social media this weekend that he's unretiring and returning for his 23rd season in the NFL with Tampa Bay. His announcement coming after only 6 weeks in retirement. The UIW women's basketball team is headed to the NCAA tournament for the first time in school history. Next. Texas A&M fans are upset after they feel their Aggies basketball team was snubbed by the NCAA selection committee on Sunday. That's after they were able to win 7 in a row, challenge Tennessee for the SEC title on Sunday, only to fall short 65-50. Still, the Aggies 23-12, but that was not good enough for the selection committee as they were one of the first 4 out. Aggie athletic director Ross Bjork was not pleased. He tweeted out, "It doesn't make sense. It's hard to figure out this a flawed selection process if we do not reward teams who deserve an opportunity." Congratulations to the University of the Incarnate Word women's basketball team, who's headed to the NCAA tournament for the first time in school history. That's after they were able to beat Southeastern Louisiana 56-52 in overtime to win the Southland Conference Championship. That's after they went into the tournament as a number 5 seed. After the win, the Cardinals returned to San Antonio for a Selection Sunday watch party at Broadway 50/50.
It feels incredible, honestly. Like, nobody thought we would be in this position. I'm just glad we got the chance to play for a championship. We got through a lot of emotions these last 4 days, so it feels good.
We've never been on a stage like that. Even like making history, winning the first game and going on playing 4 games in 4 days. Like, just the momentum, the adrenaline, it was all there, and we loved it. We wanted it again.
It's certainly a testament, how tough-minded they are and how focused they were. So just obviously great for our program, for our university, athletic department as a whole to have this opportunity.
Awesome job. Now the Cardinals will face Howard at 8 p.m. on Wednesday in Columbia, South Carolina. It's part of the first 4 play-in as the women's tournament switches to a field of 68 for the first time. And don't forget, San Antonio is a host of the South Regionals this year in the men's basketball tournament. So this is all wrapped around here, women's and men's tournament for San Antonio.
What a year it's been, though, for the athletic department at UIW.
Yeah, this has been great. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back after this.
Here's a look at rainfall accumulations, at least estimates by the Doppler radar. Gonzales County, parts of DeWitt, Lavaca counties, we had a few pockets of decent accumulations, a quarter to a little over half an inch. But by and large, most of us have been dry and will be that way too. Sunny the rest of the week and even through the upcoming weekend. Temperatures, mornings a bit of a chill, maybe long sleeves briefly, but afternoons 70s and 80s.
It's fabulous. Thank you, Adam.
That does it for the Night Beat. GMSA at 4:30 in the morning.
Have a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow.